Hey everybody, and welcome to the month of Iyar and the tribe of Issachar. We know that Issachar was the tribe that was known for knowing the times and the season. They even said on their banner it was a sun and a moon representing the fact that they were given that grace. But they was known for so much more. Issachar was the ninth son of Jacob and the fifth son of Leah. Leah had a time where she couldn't have kids, and that's why she gave her handmaiden Zilpah to Jacob. But later she was able to conceive again, and she had Issachar, and she named him that he gave her his reward. The month of Iyar. I want y'all to go on a journey with me because that's basically what the month of Iyar is all about. Have you ever went on a journey and you were so excited to get there, but it was like you was never going to get there? Yeah, that's the month of Iyar. Let's see what it looked like for us today. I'm at an event and I'm at the hotel. And right now, let me show y'all where I'm at. I'm on the stairway. And this is just one of the ways I can get to my event. How many of you know that when you take a trip on vacation, I'm gonna get out of this stairway because it's echoing, but you can choose the train, you can choose the plane, you can use a boat, you can use a car. We have highways and bridges connecting us to where we want to go. And God set us up to have a way of getting where He wanted us to go. And look at this, y'all. I'm walking down the hall. There's nothing exciting to see here. But unlike the children of Israel, they had a lot to see. This hotel has a lot of amenities, and from my room to the event, I could make a whole lot of stops along the way. And I know that wouldn't be like ideal, but how many of you have taken a trip and you're on the road and you see something on the side of the road and you decide, hey, let's stop. But you always got that one in the car who's like, no, that's not on the agenda. No, that's not what we came for. Well, just like the children of Israel, the gym is not a place I would really want to go while I'm on vacation. But how many of you know it's necessary? That if we're going to live life and do life, and you know a couple of weeks ago how God is setting us up for our next. Well, if we're going to want these bodies in shape to finish the journey that God has for us, we're going to have to be able to be okay with doing some things that we really don't want to do. Right now, I'm standing in front of the pool. How many of you know that during this month, for the children of Israel to get across that wilderness, they had to take care of some things that was in their bodies when they left Egypt. God so strategically had them to go by the way of those bitter waters. The reason they were cloudy was because they were full of minerals. The reason that water was bitter is because of the minerals. But God fixed the bitterness and allowed them to still be able to drink that water. If it wasn't for them drinking the water, they wouldn't have made it through the desert. They wouldn't have made it through the wilderness. So stopping by that water, just like stopping by that gym every now and then, is necessary for us to complete the assignment and to get to our promise. We got to do the things that's hard. We got to do the things that we feel like we don't want to do. Stopping by the gym, exercising our bodies is one of them. I'm using that for an example today since I'm at the hotel going to my event. The event is the destination. The event is the promise, if you will. I just left my room. Let's call that Nissan, or we can even call that Egypt. The event we're getting to is the month of Savan, or you could call that Mount Sinai for our story for today. But y'all also know during them 30 days, 29, 28, during those days, not only did they go by the water where they learned that God is their healer And that's why you'll even see in some of the texts in the Bible that this month is referred to the month of Zev, because of the Hebrews took Iyar, which was a Babylonian name, and called it their own, which was Zev. And Zev, they made an acronym, and it was the God that I am the God that heals. Where did they get that from? Those healing waters, because he told them, I'm going to be your God, and I won't put nothing on you that I put on the Egyptians if you would just obey me. In this season, we need to hear the voice of God. We need to hear the instructions of the Lord. We already was told a few weeks back, like I said before, that he was setting us up for our next. The only way we're going to be in position is to hear the instructions and obey. Not only did the children of Israel get that water in their bodies to help them deal with all the parasites that was in them, that bit of water full of minerals cleansed them out. But he also gave them manna. He gave them manna and quail during that transitional time. And they were able to eat that the whole time. But it was in this month that he started that position with them. Now we done made it to the elevators. This is another way we can travel. We can go from where we're going to where we're trying to get to. I could have got on the elevator in my room. I could have got on the elevator, came down the elevator, and went to my event. But how many people know it's real busy up in here? So we probably would have had to stop by every floor. What an inconvenience. But that's exactly what the children of Israel had to experience, the inconveniences. They were so inconvenienced, they even murmured and complained and told Moses, why don't you just take us back to Egypt? Because this is for the bees, the birds, whoever. Now, just like the children of Israel was able to have manna, down we have the food court. We're able to eat. Yes, ma'am. We're able to eat and get our fill before the event. They just told. Sometimes on this thing called life, we have detours in our life. Standing right in front of me, check this out. When we have detours, we don't like them. They're inconvenience. I'm sure there's people in this city that fuss every day over the fact that they got to go around this street when it's the closest way to get to where they want to go. Well, just like the children of Israel, things don't always go the way we plan, even though they didn't have a plan. God so strategically worked that thing out because he knew what it was going to take. He had to take them by that water. He had to allow them to experience him as the provider. And then they also had to experience war. It was the first time for the children of Israel to experience that. They had been slaves in Egypt. But before they could get to that promise, before they could get to a place of understanding who their God was, they needed to see him in a different light. He rescued them. He pulled them out of Egypt with a strong, mighty hand. But when they experienced war, they was able to see God as their banner. And that experience allowed them to not only see him as a God that would redeem them and pull them out and rescue them and save them, but he was also the God that fights for them and with them. They were not warriors. They were not fighters, but this was in their DNA. And they had to come to a place of learning and understanding who they were. And this was part of that journey. And so there are things that happen in our lives that we may not agree with, necessarily like, but they're necessary for the journey. I done went down 4 or 5 different hallways. We got, another stairway. There's a lot of different connectors. This hallway will connect us to the parking lot. If we go up the stairs this way, it's a different stairway. It's, it looks a lot better than the last stairway I was on, but it connects this floor to the next floor. And so as I continue on my journey, I'm going to give you some slides just to give you some of the other elements for this month. The constellation that we're sitting under during this time is Taurus, the bull. And just like Taurus, the bull, there is strength in this month for us. We can be strengthened. And just like we've always said, Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. And in this presence, there is fullness of joy. And in the joy of the Lord, that's where we find our strength. So I'm getting close to the event. And I want y'all to know we just made it to Sinai. We could also say we just made it to Savannah. So my whole point in sharing this and showing you this is just to say, no matter your journey, no matter what you got going on, God has a plan for you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, God has a plan for you, a good plan for you, a plan that will not fail, and it comes with an expected end. That's the key word. The event is the expected end. Mount Sinai was the expected end for that portion of their journey. The key to all of this was being able to trust God. The key in making it to that promise was being able to trust God. We know they make it to Mount Sinai and they receive the law. That's where Pentecost come in, 50 days. So we're about 30 days in, 28. On our Gregorian calendar is set up 30, 31, but the Hebrew calendar is more like 28, 29. Either way it go, we're entering into that second month. And we want to make sure for our personal lives that we have truly come to a place of trusting God, that we have come to a place of leaning our ear to his heart, that we may be able to experience him, hear him, and understand the fact that he loves us and there is nothing he would not do for us. Well, I've made it to the event and I'm going to go and have an awesome time. Y'all be blessed and enjoy your month of Iyar. Keep your ear open and continue to seek the Lord for his heart for this season. Good night. Good day. Whenever you hear this, make it good. Bye bye.